So I've been getting this question a lot over the past like 2 weeks, really because I think I've been talking a lot more about Facebook advertising and using Facebook and video. You're my snorkel buddy. Buddy. I've had a lot of conversations around it. It's something, I mean, I've toyed with it myself is, are there more people on LinkedIn? Is there, more, let me rephrase that. If I'm in the B2B space and my target audience is another business, is it smart to be on Facebook? Is that the place where I'm going to get it? Because it seems like professionally, LinkedIn would make more sense, right? Like that sounds like it's probably the place that most people would be if you're in the B2B space. The issue with that is their ad costs are extremely more expensive. The amount of time that people spend on LinkedIn is far less than on Facebook. So a fun statistic is Facebook, and here's the thing, like I'm not some like romantic about Facebook. Like I don't really care that much. What I love is the fact that the ad platform is so amazing, that the targeting is so incredible. That's what I care about. But the average American checks their Facebook 14 times a day. Like, think about that for a second. That's the average American. That's including my grandmother who checks it once a month, right? And that also, that includes all the people like me who check it 40, 50 times a day. And so, because I spend my time there, like that's, that and Instagram, and that's where, where I'm investing my time for, my business and all those other things. So is your audience there? Yeah, they're there. Is LinkedIn better? LinkedIn's different. LinkedIn is a professional network. What you don't get, though, is you don't get the video impact. You don't get the advertising targeting. You don't get the cost advantage that you get with Facebook, and Instagram and these other platforms. Like, sure, try it, sure, do it, but just understand that your ad costs are going to be extremely high in comparison, and then the output isn't necessarily going to be better. Sure, maybe something. But the other thing too is I think I alluded to this in another video, but what is interesting is how people and I forget who said it first because I've heard it a whole bunch of times and it just stuck with me so much. We act one way when we think about running our business and our marketing and doing those things, and then we turn around and we go home and we take off our suit. Not today. This is a Star Wars shirt from Disneyland. We take off our work attire and our work hat, and then we act completely different. So what's interesting is what your actions are as you're working. Why aren't you running your marketing the same way? That's where people are. That's where you are, right? And so think about this. If you're a business owner, right, which is the target audience that I'm usually communicating with. If you're a business owner, if you own a business, you run a business, maybe you're not the CEO, but if and you're trying to reach out and you're trying to do business with other businesses, and where do you think those business owners are at 7 p.m., right? They're sitting, whether it be on their couch or whatever they're doing, and they're scrolling Facebook. They're doing the same thing you do on your off time. They're doing the same thing you do when you're taking a crap, right? Like, I mean, as crass as that might be, it's the truth, right? That's where people are. And so what I want to do is I want to, reduce the illusion that that's not where people are, because they're all there. And whether they're doing it at their business or they're doing it at home, your marketing message can still get right in front of them. Your brand message and your pitch can get right in front of them. So, my target audience is businesses, right? That's who I want to do business with. It's easier to go after, maybe the CEO of a company or, somebody who's, a higher up in a company, and they put their profile information on there, right? They're telling you what their job description is, or the company that they work for. You can target those people. You can go right at them, and that they're there. That they're at home and they're scrolling their newsfeed and they're doing their thing and they're checking out what's up with the current events. it's all happening. And so if you think one way at work and then you go home and act another way, start to audit that and pay attention to how do I actually, like, how am I acting? What do I actually do in my free time, and where do I spend my attention, when it comes to social media? The chances are you are probably closer to your target audience, so maybe you should go do the exact same thing when it comes to actually running ads, running content, all of those things. And still right now, video's still kicking ass. So make sure that that's what you're giving some attention to. At least start evaluating it. At least start testing it in your marketing. Take a piece of what you're already doing, and whether it's you take 20% of the spend that you're doing elsewhere, move it into to ads, Facebook ads, but video, and see what you get out of that. When you go head to head against something, it's a completely different game. The tracking and all that, like, you've got to be able to test and know what's winning and what's losing. And I promise you, if you put some attention towards your Facebook video, you'll do really well. So. Had a super fucking amazing meeting with a business partner who's also really my best friend in the world, and moving forward on a new business concept, actually similar to what we've got going on here, taking it to a different market, a different niche, and then kind of creating a new brand and running a completely separate agency on a new brand and to a different market, right? So we're rebranding, to not rebranding, I guess we're segmenting, basically taking a division and moving into a new brand. It's just going to be a pretty cool opportunity. We're really excited. We've just lined up our first kind of group of clients, and we've got a huge forward movement that's going to happen over the next 30-60 days. So we're really excited about that. It's going to be really the first part of this gigantic new venture. We've got some cool business partners that we're going to be doing some really unique things with that are going to create an opportunity outside of just the marketing side of it, but more into actually the business consulting, which is what I really love to do. And what I find, my business partners are going to be, they're amazing when it comes to processes, which really isn't one of my massive strengths. I'm more into we can push through walls, and we can just keep jamming, and we can pump out more content, and we can pump out more ads, and we can drive and get that ROI. But then when it comes to actually streamlining and driving those processes back down, these guys are way better at it than I am. So it's really cool what we're going to be able to do to help other small businesses, and in this segmented market, it's going to be super exciting. So I'm actually really pumped about that. And then let's see. So we grabbed lunch. We did that. Got a new hire coming in on Monday. Got an interview coming in tomorrow. Maybe it's on the phone with a second interview. So we've got a lot of really good things going on. And when neighbors coming by. And let's see what else is going on. We've got a couple launches that we're getting ready to roll out. So I'm just putting together the front end content for that. We've got a client that we're running 2 launches for kind of simultaneously. That's a big one. That's gonna be that's a lot of work, but we're getting it done, and just growing. So hopefully, I just got some notification that we should be starting, or I should say not starting, but the continued renovation of the building, which will help us move. And again, I'm going to keep talking about this, the launch den. That's what we're going to do with it. We're going to turn it into some sort of an accelerator and help companies come in, create their launch, and then move out and actually move into the market. So super pumped about everything that's kind of going on. We've got a lot on our plate, but all positive things. Let's see. Moving forward with a couple new clients. Just it's just busy work, but a lot of different areas that maybe not everybody gets to know about yet. I can't really give a ton away, but a lot of it'll be coming out in the coming days. So stay tuned because you'll see more. I guess it is going to start to rain. That's awesome, because what we're going to get is a shit ton of snow in the mountains, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. I think next week we might try to figure out if we can get a day in the mountains, get a little run through on some some snowboarding. It'll be the first time I've been up snowboarding all year long, which is absolutely obnoxious that that's the case. That should not be the case. But when you got little ones at home, you've got a young business, and you head out of town doing shit for, for family stuff. You don't get the opportunity to go snowboarding for yourself. So we'll see how this rolls.
Drunk views for every rapper I'm saying too. Seen a few replicas, you don't believe in you. Charge it to the game while I'm the